to the lounge where the stories climb high. Dr. Rhonda's in the groove where the pages touch the sky. Sip on inspiration, let the moments unwind. Every voice a horizon, new tales intertwine. From pen to passion where the art feels divine. Authors vibing together, creativity and time. So pull up your chair, let your spirit align. Horizons Author Lounge where words come alive. Welcome to Horizons Author Lounge.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your girl. It's Dr. Rhonda M. Lawson, and I know my background looks a little bit different. Yes, I am coming at you live from a hotel room, but that's only because I'm at home. I'm in New Orleans. Okay, I'm in my home city. I'm not at home, but I'm in my home city. So, yes, I am in New Orleans for the week. So I'm coming at you live from the Sheraton. Big shout out to the Sheraton Marriott. I am a Bonvoy member. Y'all need to pay me for saying all of this. We might have to talk about a little partnership or something. But just want to let you know that I am here. The staff has been treating me so well. I've been having a great time here. Got to visit the family. But that's not what I'm here to talk to you guys about. Today is a very, very special episode. I normally, when I have to travel, I take that Monday off. But I could not pass up the chance to speak to this special guest. So those of you who are familiar with the Harlem Book Fair may have run across, you may have heard his name, but you may have heard of Max Rodriguez. And I am so fortunate in that he is going to be on the show spending the hour with me. Well, hopefully it's an hour, it might be 45 minutes. We're going to see how things go. But I'm really looking forward to talking with him. He's going to talk about the Harlem Book Fair, the history of the fair. I'm never going to forget my first time going to the Harlem Book Fair. It was an experience, I'll tell you that. And I learned a lot. And then I got to go back a couple years ago, and it was different, but it was still that same amazing vibe. And I just want to commend Max for all of the great things he's been doing, not just for the fair, but for Black authors in general. So if you have never heard of the Harlem Book Fair, I don't know where you've been, but you are going to enjoy this show. So without any further ado, I am bringing on Mr. Max Rodriguez. Hello.
Yay. Hey, Dr. Rhonda. Dr. Rhonda. Dr. Rhonda. That's right. That's right. Your name resonates everywhere, my sister. Everywhere.
Oh, man. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you for what you do. Thank you. And for how you do it, because really your voice gives writers the voice that they're looking for. It's not a once removed voice. It's a voice that sounds like how they write. It's a familiar voice. So that is what I think makes you so successful, that you love us, you love books, and here you are sort of knitting the two together. So thank you, Dr. Rhonda.
And thank you. Thank you so much for those kind words. And it means a lot coming from you, because you are a fixture when it comes to not just Black books, but books in general. So I want to thank you for what you do. And that's why we're here tonight, to talk about the Harlem Book Fair and why you even took on such a task. And then for how many years has it been? 20?
This is our 28th year.
28th year. Oh my goodness, that is crazy. I mean, there are some book fairs that don't last 5, but you've been able to keep this going and keep this going at the level that you keep it going at. And you've been doing it for this long. So I just want to jump right in. How did the Harlem Book Fair come about?
Well, Dr. Rhonda, the first thing I want to say is that you said, "Oh man, that is crazy," and I used to think it was crazy too. But now that I've done it for 28 years, I'm beginning to wonder: is this crazy or what? It's like it's getting time, But it's good.
No, you can't give it up. You can't give it up. Max Rodriguez and the Harlem Book Fair are intertwined.
Oh boy. So I started the book fair. I published QBR The Black Book Review.
Yes.
Right. So that's sort of started my passion work. I've always been a passionate reader. I used to read the New York Times Book Review and the New York Review of Books and the Paris Review. And the first thing I would do would be to turn, to the table of contents to see what books look like me. And more often than not, there weren't any. Or if they were, it would be, the Toni Morrisons of the world, or, those crossover figures. But our story, yes, but not our stories.
Yes.
The distinction, right? You
Yes.
know what I mean. It's our stories unfettered without having cleared anyone else's hurdles.
Mm.
Not our stories. So I began this publication, QBR The Black Book Review, to review our stories, right? Books written by and about us, our lives, our words, our stories. And 2 years after that, I moved the business from downtown Soho in New York up to Harlem. And when I did that, I realized that there was no book event that celebrated our stories. So I began the Harlem Book Fair. And that's pretty much the genesis of it. All of our work, all of our writing needed a public face. Otherwise, there was no way for us to sort of tell our contribution to culture and humanity. And it's not so much that there wasn't that opportunity, is that absent that opportunity, the conversation became that we were not a contribution to culture and humanity, at least within the letters. Yeah, there were the Baldwins, there was Toni Morrisons, and the Sonia Sanchez's, and, those whom we know, right?
Mm.
But there were so many stories being told about our lives that they weren't finding, their way to public discourse, to public discussion. We weren't talking about the Omar Tyrese or, even then Terry McMillan's or,
Right.
and everyone else that came up during that time. And so between the review and the Harlem Book Fair, we created a platform so that we could have our voice, but also that we could imprint the value of our voice to society. People could see the connection between the things we do and the things we say in writing.
I like
And
that.
say, yeah. And they say, here's a connection. We're just not doing people. We are visionaries. We are thinking people. We are people who project ourselves into the future and our families and communities into our future. So the idea then, imagine when's the first time you heard the phrase Black future, right? Or Afrofuturism, a relatively, recent term, last 10 years, maybe, maybe less. But the
Yeah.
idea of Afrofuturism, the idea of a Black future, what? Who's thinking about that? Who's talking about that? Why? What is that? Why is that? Is that a thing? Oh yeah, of course it's a thing. It's just not. It just didn't have a public face until our work. The work
Yes.
that you do and I do and other book festivals do, and that's what we do. And it's all part of the same thing. People say to me, "Well, thank you for what you do," and I say to them, "If you hadn't written your book, there'd be nothing for you to thank me for." Yeah.
So it's a partnership.
That's right. That's right.
But,
So
now with the Harlem Book Fair, you didn't just create a venue for Black authors, many of them new and up and coming, and many of them who were already huge in their own right. But you also took it a step further when you started putting it on TV.
when I started putting it on,
TV on I believe it was C-SPAN at one time, right?
oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. So C-SPAN was one of our early partners, and their program Book TV aligns perfectly with our conversations about us, right? Whether it's fiction, nonfiction, poetry, children's book, it's really about how we project ourselves into the world. And, we were just very fortunate in having a receiving ear in C-SPAN, and an understanding on their part that this is ecumenical. It's that everyone contributes, everyone has vision, and everyone's points of view moves us forward as as a global community. Frankly, so yeah, C-SPAN was very instrumental in helping us sort of establish the Harlem Book Fair brand.
That is amazing, because that's not something that we see every day. We're not seeing book fairs on that platform, and then not just book fairs, but Black book fairs at that.
Hmm. Yeah, that's good. That's good, Rhonda. And you sit down, you do the work, you put your head down, you start typing, and you start talking, and then things show up like C-SPAN, and you say good, because this is what we deserve. These
Yeah.
are the platforms that our voices merit. It the relationship with C-SPAN sort of ties in to the wholeness of ourselves that we know ourselves to be. So I'm going to be forever grateful to C-SPAN for helping to sort of elevate the book fair.
Now, even without C-SPAN, I think that I'm not sure exactly what year it was, but the Harlem Book Fair became that must-do festival. I mean, if you were a Black author and you had not gone to the Harlem Book Fair, were you even an author? Because that's how it was at one time. I mean, that was an experience that you had to experience as an author. And so, when did it become the festival of choice?
Well, I think it became the festival of choice one day when I walk outside from one of the panel discussions, and C-SPAN is there, and they brought a camera and placed it on a dolly, and they raised the camera and they shot down the street, and it was one of those events where you had to walk lockstep with everyone else. You literally could not see your shadow because there were so many people there. And at that point, it became that, and Amiri Baraka, Sonia Sanchez, Maya Angelou, Walter Mosley, just a whole range of authors of renown, came through and spoke at the book festival. And that's an interesting conversation, Rhonda, that you and I can have, that we can have. Someone mentioned to me the other day that the book fair, sort of like the structure of the book fair, has to change because we no longer have sort of those seminal writers, those anchoring writers that we did at one point. Terry McMillan is producing film. Maya has passed. Sonia Sanchez is 90. Walter Mosley is still writing. I think he's up to his 70th book now. I don't know how he does it yet. I think he has more books than he's old, than he has years. I don't know how
Right.
he does it. So it's an interesting dynamic, and it's a play between what we do as a community and how we hold ourselves accountable and how we support our writers, and what publishing says, is what is Black, is what
Right.
is the new Black, right? So we always have to play into that, with that, against that, to make sure that our voices are heard. Well, sure, you have, the current author, but for me, those authors are important to us because they tell us what's possible. But
Right, right.
our authors, our indie authors, our self-published authors, our small press authors, their stories tell us how to get there. You know,
Mm,
and
absolutely. I mean, I think
yeah,
it's an
and
opportunity for us to build authors up because those anchoring authors that you mentioned became anchoring authors because of the support that they were given. We can't say that we don't have anchoring authors anymore if we're not supporting them. If we're not building up our authors, and if we're only
Mhm.
supporting the authors who already have thousands and thousands of books and they're on the New York Times bestseller list, but we're not supporting the ones who are trying to get there, then we're actually going to be harming the culture.
We are, and that's our accountability, Rhonda, and other book festivals, right? It is to make sure that we let our readers know who else is writing, stories that they should know about, right? And so, it's all synergistic. We've heard it before, right? It takes a community, right? It
Yeah.
takes what is it? It takes.
What? Oh, it takes a village.
It takes a village. That's it. Thank you.
Yes.
Sorry to put you on the spot. Yeah. Yeah. It takes a village. And we are the village. We are the village. And so we do our part. And that part might simply be talking about an author whose book you've read. You
Yes.
know,
I
it,
think
it,
that's
it
the
could
good
be.
thing. I think that's the
Uh-huh.
good thing about book influencers are getting to be a lot more popular this year. Even though I still have a bit of not. I don't say I have an issue with book influencers, but a lot of the influencers are really drawn toward the books that already have thousands and thousands of readers. But I feel that influencers are so powerful and they're so popular that they alone can build up those anchoring authors that we were just talking about. If they would, if they had the chance to be exposed to some of the books that may not be as popular, but are still as greatly written.
That's right. And that's where your work, my work, and the work of all of these other author advocate individuals and organization comes into play. Feed these authors to these book influencers and let them just give these authors these books a shout out when they have a moment, you know?
Absolutely. That's
Yeah.
beautiful. Now, I do want to say this is a special year, at least for me, that I get to partner with you, and we're going to be doing a pre festival workshop. And
That's
so
right.
I want you guys to sign up for this. This festival, this pre workshop is absolutely free. And there's going to be some great information that's going to be shared. So, hey, Tori. Tori's one of our authors who's going to be there. But just want to share that. Oh, good. It's right between us. Let the tools move fast to keep the story yours. We're going to be talking about so many things. We're going to be talking about AI. We're going to be talking about book promotion. We're going to be talking about how to keep your voice authentic, especially in this AI driven world that we're living in right now. So, like I said, the workshop is free. All you have to do is sign up. It's going to be this coming Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And I believe the link is in the chat. Yes, it is. It is in the chat. Register for the workshop now. All you have to do is just click. Just click that link, sign up. It's not going to cost you any money, but we want to see you there. And I'm going to be teaching a portion of the workshop, and Max is going to be teaching a portion of the workshop. So this is going to be awesome. You're going to get two great people.
It may not cost you any money, but it may cost you a better book. So there. Okay.
I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Yeah. But here's the thing. This is what I love about this tag. It's like let the tools move faster. Let them move faster. They're going to move. They're going to move faster, right? It's just every author now, so in publishing, you've heard this before. You write the book, then the work begins, right?
Yes.
So yeah, things are going to move faster. The question is, how do you meet the value and the opportunities of a of a digitized workflow and still keep your story authentic, keep the rights to the story, make sure that you are profiting from that by integrating those digitized tools into your marketing. All it takes is a good idea. You have that already. You have your
Hmm.
book, and then some know-how in marketing. So here's my definition, Rhonda, of what is professional. Professional is 100% know-how, 100% how to, and 100% will to. You see, if
Okay.
you can master if you can master those three, and not tomorrow, just a little bit at a time, a little bit at a time, conversation by conversation, page by page, marketing attempt by marketing attempt. You have a story. Everybody wants to hear your story. They really do, right? Let's just play in the space that everybody wants to hear your story. And I'm not making that up. And the reason I'm saying that is because we're all living life at the same time, but from different angles. And
Yeah.
everybody inevitably runs into something that is found in your book. Some story, someone you know, someone you care for, you're experiencing yourself. So everybody wants to know your story. Will they read your story? Well, now that depends on how well you write, right? But right, yeah, because we have accountability there,
Or
right? As writers,
I,
we
I
keep
always say,
accountability.
you can be a really good marketer and get 1,000 people to buy your badly written book. But if you don't put a lot of time and effort and editing into your book, might get 1,000 people to buy it. But if it's not written well, you're gonna have 1,000 people telling everybody how bad the book was. And so it's going to be very hard to sell another book. So it is very
That's good.
important that we put as much energy into writing our books as we do promoting our books.
Yeah, that's true, Rhonda. It sounds a little conceptual or theoretical, but when you're writing this book, you're always writing for the second book that your audience is going to read, right? So you just have to know that you have to give them in this book, you have to give them a reason to read the second book that you haven't started on yet. You just have to sort of keep that in mind and know that the story that you tell, has no ending. It has no
Absolutely.
ending, right? This story is a moment in these characters' lives. Yeah, yeah,
That's the point because the characters are still living on.
yeah,
Now you
yeah.
you actually go to different not organizations but different events and you do workshops like these. I remember seeing you at the Independent Book Festival in
Mhm.
Philadelphia and you taught a similar workshop.
That's right. That's right. Well, because it's important. It's important that we as writers know what to do next. We're all impacted by the digitization of things, right? And how that's impacting our workflows and our expectations and our expected returns, our bottom line. And we have to know that digital technology has well, not, I can't say most, but has a lot of impact, right, in the marketing or reaching audiences. So how do we do that? What's the expected return against whatever standard marketing we used to do with our books? We just they're just things that we need to know. Or the more we know, the more it shows up on our bottom line. Yeah.
I like that. So,
Yeah.
so let's move back to the festival. I remember, and I was mentioned earlier at the beginning of the show that I remember my first Harlem Book Festival. I believe it was 2004 was my first festival.
2004. I wasn't even born yet. That's a long time. Let's not say that
It was a
anymore.
long time ago. Oh my goodness. Don't
Let's
tell
not say
anybody.
that.
Don't tell
You
anybody.
you mean my brother. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He man. I took it over for him.
There you go.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
at
That
that
long.
time, it was in Harlem, but it was on a different street. And walking down that street was like walking down a corridor of books. I'm telling you, New York authors know how to hustle, and they were getting their hustle on that day. They would just hold their book out like this, and they tell everybody it was the best book in the industry, and you need to get this book right now. They knew how to preach. I'm never gonna forget it. I was intimidated because I had my one book. I was a brand new author, and I think I didn't have my own booth. I was sharing a booth with other authors at that time. But I learned so much. I even had a chance to get on stage and read. I don't know who let me get on stage, but somebody let me get on stage and
I
read
can I
an
can answer
excerpt.
that question for you, Rhonda. I know who let you on stage.
Who
Okay.
let me on stage?
So I did. Hello. Yeah, Rhonda, the one thing that you said something. You said, you came to the book fair and you came again and it was different, but there's one thing that remains constant is that the energy is palpable, right?
Yes.
There's a recognition that we are a community of readers. That's one. But that's at a very base level. We also understand that we share intellectual capital. We understand that we are visionary for ourselves, our families, and community, right? We understand the commonality of our experiences, even though they may be distinct, you
Yes.
know? So all of that is sort of like you turn the corner and ah, it's us. It's us in a way that by and large we're not allowed to breathe into, because
Mm.
we're kept siloed as individual authors, So, okay, okay, but I just want to, because I remember those moments. I remember, just feeling, wow, the energy here.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It was not book energy. It was we the people energy. It was we are energy. You know, really, really good.
Absolutely.
That's one of the things that I like most about the book festival is that it brings us together from the place of our knowing who we are, and then being able to express it.
Now, and like I said, when I went to that festival, I was a little intimidated. It was my first time selling in Harlem. It was my first time experiencing that type of energy at a festival.
Mhm.
So even now, if a brand new author comes to the Harlem Book Fair, they're going to probably feel intimidated at first. You're walking through there and you're seeing all of these authors out there, and you're like, how am I going to stand out in this sea of authors? It's beautiful. I'm seeing all of these Black
Mm.
authors all together. Um, now, but how do I stand out?
That's a question. I'll tell you how you stand out. So you stand out by standing in front of your booth.
Yeah,
You
not like
stand
this,
you
sitting at the table waiting on
not
them
like
to
that. Yeah, not like that. No.
come up.
Yeah, you go out and you sort of stand in the stream of people moving through. You're probably going to have about 10 seconds while someone walks past you. They can walk past you without you saying anything to them about your book,
Yeah.
or you can hold their attention for 10 seconds longer. I always ask people, when you and this is for all of us as authors, participating in book festivals. You don't be passive, right? Set up from your booth, set up a reading schedule. At 1 o'clock, I'm going to be talking about my book. At 2 o'clock, I'm going to do a reading from my book. People will come back.
I love that
Yeah,
because we're not just standing there waiting for somebody to
no,
come and grace us with their money. We're actually making
right.
our booth an experience.
That's right. That's right. And we're not actually waiting and asking someone for some time to read on stage. You can ask for that, but there's no reason why you can't stand and read from your booth. Just say at 2:30, I'm having a reading of this book, and just pass out a small flyer, see you at 2:30, and they show up. It might only be 10, it may be more, but these are 10 people who are probable buyers of your book.
Yes.
You know, so there's a lot we can do at the moment.
I love that idea. And it's something even I haven't thought about. Is just making, or maybe I've been doing it and just never thought about it on that level. Just to have different experiences at your booth. I mean, another thing I tell people is to do drawings. Let's say,
Mhm.
I think at the last Harlem Book Festival that I went to, the Harlem Book Fair that I went to, I had people sign, like with little tickets, like little raffle tickets, and they put their name and their phone number on there and their email address, and they put it in there. And then at the end of the day, I drew a name, and that person won a reading basket. But that kept people coming to my
Nice.
table, and it
Yep.
helped me to have. I mean, the people who I awarded the books to, I mean, they became people who were connected with me. They were able to read my work. They were able to support my work.
So the idea is, as authors, as indie authors especially, we want to leave when we attend these sort of events. We want to leave them with something. I ask writers, if you have a bookmark, sign the bookmark, make it personal, right? Just small things that will have them remember you. Um, do a write up a 10-part questionnaire about the book, about the theme in your book. And on the bottom, you just, put your name and in the book, and, something to think about. It might be a self-help book. It might be a, what's I forget it might be a devotional. you
Yes.
know it could be fiction or nonfiction. It could be any kind of book, and you can really make the moment work. I really look forward to our Friday conversation, because we get to drill down a little bit about how to make AI a strong part of your toolkit, right?
Yes.
By while maintaining your voice. Um, you know, some of you may know that publishers, traditional publishers, are asking you to sign that none of your work, no part
Right.
of your
They
work
say that
is
no part
AI
of your work
generated.
was AI
Right,
generated.
right. But at the same time, many people are still going secondary market using AI, and books that are AI generated are giving traditional publishers a run for its money. So we can get caught up in the conversation, of what the moral question might be, you know, or you can understand that a book is a product in the marketplace, and the intention of that product is to make profit. And how do you find the balance between the two? These are things we'll be talking about on Friday.
Absolutely. And one thing that I've done, and I've made no secret about it, is that I'm a certified AI consultant, but I don't teach authors how to let AI write their book for them. I teach them how they
Mhm.
can use it as a powerful assistant to help their writing process. And what I mean by that is helping them to brainstorm, helping them to outline what they want to write before they actually start writing. So the writing, the words, the thoughts, and everything, those are still yours. But right now we have a very powerful technological tool that a lot of people don't know anything about. And so right now the literary industry's answer is don't use it. But how do you tell somebody who sees a tool that's helping them to save time? It's helping them with their marketing. It's helping them with their business processes. It's helping them with their brainstorming and getting their mind together before they start writing. And we see all these people using it. They may not be using it the right way, but they're using it. And then we instead of teaching people how to use it correctly and how to use it ethically, we're just telling them don't touch it. I think it's almost unfair.
Well, yeah. Well, fair or unfair is not the question. I mean, for me, in that it's being used and it's being benefited from.
Right.
And so we can step into the ethical question while others are benefiting from it, or we can just learn how to use it ethically and effectively and profitably.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you on there. And
Yeah,
I mean, you can have fun with it. It doesn't have to be the devil.
that's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. If you have a moment, Rhonda, I'd just like to talk a little bit more about the book fair that's coming
Yeah.
up.
And it's on
Thanks.
Saturday the 29th.
It's on Saturday the 29th. Um, uh, Dr. Rhonda Lawson will be there. And we're looking forward to that. It's really great when you have people who love what they do, and love why they do what they do, come together and just each says to the other, okay, the floor is yours. What do you want? What do you want to do? If you can do anything that you wanted to do in this book space, what would you do? And Rhonda and I have both answered that question for each other. And so if you have the opportunity to come to the book fair on Saturday the 29th, you'll see me and Rhonda at play. And that's fun. And that's fun. The So we have a lot of readings. We have we have a lot of readings. We have author discussions. We have panel discussions. We have a children's pavilion. We have live music. We're launching the first annual Harlem Poetry Festival.
Oh, that's
We
awesome.
have the city of Philadelphia is sending in their poet laureate. Uh, uh, Another group, Zenobia Lundy, Zenobia the poet, is putting together a Philadelphia poet's voice that's going to do a retrospective, a 250-year retrospective of spoken word. So it's all that kind of energy and movement. So between just the book energy and the people energy and the live music and the spoken word and the panel discussions and the readings all going on simultaneous, the children's book, that's what you you breathe us.
Mm.
It's like, and that's really important, right? Everyone, that's really important because that we breathe. I'm just going to say we breathe tentatively, right?
Mm.
Because how we are where we are, our we breathe cautiously, right? We never forget that at any given moment, you know, there is where we are, right?
Yes.
So, at the book fair, you breathe. And that's what I love about the book fair. And then it's like it's all word and language, and just it's how we paint, right? It's our paint by numbers, you know.
Yes.
So that's it. That's it. And if you don't have a book, then just come and volunteer.
So you
Okay,
still taking volunteers?
but we're still taking volunteers. We have about 50 volunteers now, which is a good number, but we always, um, there's always room for more people to support, you know?
So
So,
how if a person did want to volunteer, how can they go about doing that?
um, hmm, there's a volunteer form, and I will show it on Friday or get it to you, Rhonda, before Friday, so perhaps you can share it out with your network.
Okay, I can definitely do
Yeah.
that.
Okay. All right. Thank you. That would be good. That would be fun and helpful. It's fun. The book fair is fun. The book fair is fun. What else about the book fair? I think I think that's it. It's good, and people come to know new authors and to know new books. And when you visit our website, the harlembookfair.com, we posted some authors that will be attending. We posted some books that we think are of note, and that you might want to be on the lookout for. All part of just you know promoting promoting
And,
us, promoting our community, making
and
sure
there's so
that.
many different types of books.
Hmm. Hmm.
We have a
Fiction.
question in the chat from Sherry Bryant. Is she asked if this is it, the Harlem State Office Building, Plaza 163 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, August 29th from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. You are right.
Yes, you are, and thank you for that. Yeah, that is where we will be on the 29th. You know, um, 2 weeks out. Uh, so when we're producing these events, and I'll share this with Rhonda. I know that she knows this is true. The book fair and our events, they happen 2 months, 2 weeks, and 2 days before the event.
Yeah.
So everything that you're working on, things will start breaking at 2 months out. And then you get nervous. And then at 2 weeks, there'll be another break, and then you're good, and then there'll be another break, 2 days, and now 2 days, now you're in a panic because it's good and you have to make it fit when everything else is already in place. So you know but that's what happens behind the scenes, and the end result of all of that is, I remember, one day at the Harlem Book Fair, this brother was being interviewed, and he said, "I am in book heaven," you know and so that was good to hear, because it let us know that we're doing our work. I don't think that he realized that his being there was part of our doing our work, right? Because
Mm,
again, it takes a village, and we're sort of inculcated into this rugged individualism, you
yeah.
know, that really does not serve to our greater benefit, right? Um, because there's such power in many hands making work small, right? Making small work, So this is who we are, and this is what happens at the book fair, and
Would
you
you?
get to sell a book too,
And what?
and you get to sell a book too.
There you go. You go and experience it, and you get to make a little bit of money on the side. I
That's
love
right. That's right.
it.
That's right. That's right.
What would you say is, this is your 28th year, and I'm sure you probably have lots of them. Well, what is your favorite memory of the Harlem Book Fair when you think back over the years?
Oh boy. Oh boy. I can't point to one. Oh no, I do have one. I do have one. Aside from all the other great authors, um, aside from being called to one of our venues because one author had just slapped Amiri Baraka in the face. Uh,
Not a Mary Baraka.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, Amiri Baraka was a playwright and a poet, well-known Black arts, founder of the Black arts movement. He's passed,
Yes.
so I can tell his story. The young lady who slapped him because she was apparently offended at something that he said is still alive. So I won't mention her name, but I do want to say that this is not generally what happened at the book fair. So you can come to the book fair as an author and not worry about someone slapping you. I just wanted to say that for the record.
But I think the really cool part about it is you may be walking up on an author and not even realize that this is one of your most favorite authors. I remember the late great Eric Jerome Dickey said one of the best places for an author to hide is inside of a bookstore reading their own book, because nobody expects to see that author reading their own book in the bookstore.
That's true. I tell you that to answer your question, Rhonda, a personal moment was very unexpected. I'm walking on 135th Street. A woman taps me on the shoulder and she says, "Excuse me, are you Max Rodriguez?" And I said, "Yes, I am." And then she turns to the ladies that she was with, about 5 or 6 other, and they surrounded me and put hands on me and prayed. You
Oh,
know,
wow.
Oh, right there in the middle of the street, in the middle
Oh,
of
wow.
everything. And yeah, and that was okay. All right, we're doing good work. We're doing good
I
work.
thought you were going to say she slapped you.
That's funny. I don't think I would have told that story. Oh, I'll tell you that story later. Okay.
Wow.
So
But
yeah, but
you see, you didn't think you'd be able to last the whole hour. It is almost, well, 7 o'clock because I'm in New Orleans. It is almost 8 o'clock where you are, and you're still going. I knew you could do
no,
it.
that's right. That's right. That's right. You're right. You're right. You got the time out of me. You did. Well, we're talking books, right? We're talking language and and understanding that language will either work for you or it will work against you, right?
Yeah.
It will maintain the status quo because that is the function of language to maintain the status quo. Or you take your language and how you write, and you create new language, you give it new meaning, and now it's working for you. Now you're taking that tool and you're saying, this is how I'm defining my life, my vision, what's possible, you know.
Yes.
And we get to have these talks and these conversations and introduce authors that help us help us get there, wherever the there is, right? Like I said, those A-line authors, they let us know that we can get there. But all those other authors, those indie authors, those newly emerging authors, they're the ones that tell us how to get there. And that's so important.
Amen to that. Amen to that. Well, I've just got to say, congratulations. 28 years is amazing. You are, as I said before, that book fair of choice. Um, you're the fair that every author has to experience at least once or twice.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
just the heavyweight that you have had come through over the last 28 years is nothing short of amazing. So I respect everything that you're doing. And like I said, I'm so honored to have you here tonight.
Thank you so much, Rhonda. And back to you, ditto, right? Because it's our job and our audience, our writers. It's their job, to create themselves, for us to acknowledge them, to identify them, and for the writers to create themselves as those next heavyweights. We're here to do the help, whether it's through the work that you do, or QBR, the Black Book Review, or the Harlem Book Fair, or any number of other book festivals across the country. We're here to help make you that heavyweight. We just ask you to tell our stories with authenticity and in our voice. And if you can do that, we got you.
All right, love it. Well, y'all, the link is on the screen. Do not forget, do not sleep on this workshop. As you can see, this conversation was already everything. So just think how much more it's going to be at this workshop. It is absolutely free. All you need to do is click the link, register. We want to see you there, and you are going to walk away with so much great information that's going to just propel your book career. And I want to see it happen. I want to cheer you on, and I want to have you on the show so we can talk about it.
That's really good, Ron. And I like how you set that up. I might even show up for that myself. There you go. I like it.
It's so funny. Well, Max, once again, thank you so much for being on the show. Congratulations for talking for almost a full hour.
That was unexpected, Rhonda. That's all you. That's all you. Which is what you do anyway, right? This is why
Exactly.
you're Rhonda, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. I got it. That's good.
All right, well, I'm going to see you on Friday. So let's just keep spreading the word so we can have a nice packed Zoom on Friday.
Okay. Yay. Love
Thank you so much.
Dr. Rhonda Lawson, thank you.
And Max Rodriguez, thank you. Take care. Bye-bye. All right, y'all. That was the most amazing conversation with one of the most amazing people in the literary industry, Mr. Max Rodriguez. So I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope you caught those jewels that we were dropping. And I hope that they help you in your literary career. Now, I do have a couple of announcements before we log off. I have a lot of stuff coming up. So on the 21st, which is Friday, I've already told you about the, let me put this over here so y'all can see me. Oh, y'all still can't see me. Okay, there we go. I've already told y'all about the Harlem Book Fair workshop. This is a pre-workshop, lots of great information, just like what you had tonight, but better. So make sure you sign up for this workshop. And then on the 22nd, I will be in Delaware. Yes, Delaware, Wilmington, Delaware. As many of you know, I am a member of one of the founding members of the Creators' Rights movement. And the Creators Tour is going to be stopping in Delaware. And we are going to be talking about creators' rights. We're going to be discussing how these copyright laws, the current copyright laws, and how they affect you. And we're going to also be talking a bit about AI and how, if unchecked, AI can affect many creators' art, music. We're talking books. We're talking film. So this isn't just about books, y'all. If you are a creator in any right, you definitely want to come to this event. And this is also a free event. It's taking place on the 22nd at 1 p.m. at the Noma Library in Wilmington, Delaware. So I would love to see you there. And then on the 25th, I will be, believe it or not, oh, wait, I skipped this one. We can't talk about that one yet. There we go. On the 25th, many of you might know that I'm a member of the crew of Pyros, and I have been invited to the Transformational Tuesday speaker series, and I will be talking about the Story to Legacy voice framework. Every story matters, and I don't want you to think just because you didn't grow up a certain way that your book does not matter or that your story does not matter. So we're going to be talking about this. This is also a free event. You can join us live. I want you guys to hear it because there's going to be so much great information I'm planning on sharing with you guys. And I would love for you all to be a part of it. And then, of course, on the 29th is the Harlem Book Fair. So, yeah, next week's going to be kind of busy. But it's going to be such great information. I really, really, really want to see you guys there. So you have the information. I will put it in the chat in case you need to look at it again. But register for these events. And I want to see you guys there because AI, y'all, is not going anywhere. But if we can learn how to use it effectively without affecting our voice, I want to be able to help you guys to do it. So that is all I have for tonight. Once again, thank you so much for being a part of the Horizons Author Lounge. You are a big part of why this show is so special. And if you have not done so already, subscribe to the YouTube channel so you never miss a new episode, because there's lots of great things going on. Now, don't think I'm having a show next week, but I will be having a show on the 31st. We have some great authors lined up. September's just about filled up, y'all. I think I might have one slot left on August 31st. So if you want that slot, then go ahead and sign up to be a part of the Horizons Author Lounge. But September, just about filled up. October is just about filled up. And then we're going into November and December. We will be going on hiatus about mid-December. And then in January and February, we're going to be meeting the authors who are going to be featured during the Black History Month Literary Weekend 2027, which is our 11th annual event. Yeah, I haven't caught up to Max yet with the 28, but I have 11 of them coming up. So if you would like to be a featured author at the Black History Month Literary Weekend, which will be taking place in DC, then visit my website, www.mtwimagesolutions.com, and that's where you'll find all of the information you need to get registered. So that's all we have for tonight, guys. God bless you. Thank you so much, and have a beautiful week. And I'll see you when I get back from New Orleans. Bye-bye.